Hey everyone, Tofu here, and welcome to the first Let's Play ever on YouTube ever. No, this is the first Let's Play on Tofu-Tooie, the new Let's Play channel of mine, because that exists now. Actually, it doesn't exist now. Well, I mean, the channel exists, but there's no content on it, and I haven't, shared it anywhere. I'm recording this in May, but I suspect that you won't actually see this until, the end of June. So this is kind of weird right now, because I'm planning, a bit of a rebrand for the Tofu Damaru YouTube channel, and, try to take it a little more seriously. But hopefully, by this point, I've kind of already put up an update video talking about that, so I don't want to potentially just, say information that I've already discussed. And this music is really loud in my ear, but that should hopefully be fine for you. So yeah, obviously I was gonna play Banjo-Tooie as the first Let's Play on Tofu-Tooie, because the channel is literally named after it. Actually, I wasn't sure, though. I was kind of thinking maybe I should play Banjo-Kazooie first, and, go in order. Banjo-Kazooie, then Banjo-Tooie. But I'm not gonna do that, because, I don't know. I do have my reasons. I guess, honestly, the biggest one is literally just because the channel is called Tofu-Tooie, and of course, that just makes sense to have my first playthrough here be Banjo-Tooie. However, this is actually not, and only real Tofu Damaru fans will know this. This is not the first Let's Play I've done of Banjo-Tooie. If you go all the way back to the main channel and scroll down, you will find my old Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie videos, and they're not great. They're not, horrible, but I wouldn't recommend watching them. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that, that Banjo-Tooie Let's Play was the last video I put out before the Penguin Rampa prologue, went up. I'm pretty sure it was the Hailfire Peaks video. The thumbnail is, Kazooie holding a sign that says trash, and it's a great thumbnail. Not really, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the last video that went up before the prologue happened, because I did that Let's Play in October, November, and I was working on Penguin Rampa in the background while I was recording that Let's Play. So bit of trivia for you there. Yeah, so that Let's Play was kind of, I don't know, because, the first Banjo-Kazooie Let's Play I did was very quick and fast-paced, much like the game itself, because it's very quick compared to this game, which is an absolute slog, and it's massive and horrible. I love this game. No, but, this game is very tedious and slow, and, yeah, as you can tell by this 11-minute cutscene that I can skip, but I don't want to, because I want to ramble about why I'm doing this Let's Play in the first place. There's a story going on, by the way. There's a drill and people are dying. Not yet. Spoilers. But what was I talking about? Oh, jeez. The first Let's Play I did was, it was semi-informative, I would say. I mean, I didn't go into it with, a plan to do that. I just kind of naturally rambled about the game, because that's what I do. I love this game a lot, and I know a lot about it. So, I mean, I didn't research, this is not going to be, the level of informativeness, whatever, as the Elite Penguin Force Let's Play was. I did not research this ahead of time. I'm doing this very casually, honestly, just to have content on the channel when it starts. So that I'm not just, that YouTuber that's hey, I have a second channel, guys, and then they just never post on it. And it's I mean, the plan for this channel is not to, have a consistent schedule or anything either when it comes to Let's Plays. It's mainly, it's a dumping ground of content that I want to put out, but I don't feel is worthy enough to go on the main channel. And that is definitely going to be this Let's Play, as you can tell by the god-awful commentary that is going to ensue. But I gotta force myself to keep talking. I love Kazooie, by the way. Here just stealing Mumbo's money as he foolishly leaves the house. Though he's actually not a fool because there is actually danger going on there. But, God, what the hell was I talking about now? Was I still on the informative thing? Yeah, so, like, I don't really have a plan or anything to, like, fully explain everything, but I'll do what I can. Like, if for whatever reason, you want to play this game with me, and you've never played the game before, I can probably guide you pretty well, as long as you are paying close enough attention, because I do know the game pretty darn stinking well, and I know what I'm doing, so, like, if you want a guide for Banjo-Tooie, this won't be a bad one, but I know that, like, if I took the time to actually plan one out and, you know, actually think about what is the best way to teach someone how to play this game and, you know, do things in an efficient manner, I could do a much better job in the future, but I'm not doing that now. This is just me going off what I know in my little noggin at the moment, which is still a lot because I know a lot about the game, as I keep saying because I love boasting, apparently. Oh, Grunty, your eye fell out. That's terrible. What else did I want to say about this playthrough? There was, like, something else, I'm pretty sure, but I am totally blanking. I don't know. I'll just describe the cutscene, because Grunty's gonna whip or whoop. Did she say whip or whoop? Banjo's hairy butt. Which is, you know, good for her, I guess. The bony man has seen them, so they're gonna whack him because he's Sans. No, he's not. But Grunty's Sans because she's a skeleton. And also, Sans, the Mii costume, came out with Banjo and Kazooie in Super Smash Brothers, so it all comes full circle, and it's great. By the way, I want to talk about the music in this cutscene, because this is very common knowledge, but you might not have known this. In the N64 version, which is what I'm playing, by the way, granted on a totally real Nintendo 64, but don't tell Nintendo that, but, like, yeah, so the music in this cutscene was composed... Shout out to Grant Kirkhope, by the way, actual legend. But it was composed with the lag of the Nintendo 64 in mind, which is insane. So, like, when they ported this game to the Xbox, the lag was gone because it's a better console. So the music, it gets completely desynced, and it sounds horrendous. And it's like, really? You couldn't fix that? There's only a couple instances like that throughout the game, so it's not like a huge deal, but it is one of the things that I think the N64 version does have over the Xbox version. The main thing that the Xbox version has is just the lack of lag. Like, the lack of lag sucks for this cutscene, but for the entire rest of the game, it is amazing, because holy fucking hell, Rare pushed the Nintendo 64 to its absolute limits with this game. This and, like, Conquer, they absolutely, like, killed this console, man, with what they could try to do to it. But yeah, like, it just runs horribly on an actual console. Which I have, Nintendo. I own the game. It's legal for me to do this. But yeah, thankfully, I'm playing on a totally real Nintendo 64, so the lag will be minimal, which is great. Also, Klungo, poor little Klungo, getting left behind. but now it's daytime. I don't know what we've been doing since last night. Just kind of been standing around the whole time, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe Grunty's presence in Spiral Mountain was just like a giant storm cloud. And as soon as she left, now it's bright again. Or I guess the easiest solution is that we were just unconscious. Because we were literally, like, essentially blown out of the house. I don't know, it doesn't really make sense because, like, they escaped the house, but, like, where did they hide? Because, like, the house still exploded. So, like, even if they were outside the house in close proximity like they are right now, they still probably should have gotten caught in the blast. But, I don't know, I guess they hid somewhere. But someone who did not get out in time was Bottles. Yeah, he looks much unwell. He's dead. That's how the game starts. That's... I mean, everyone knows at this point, right? Everyone knows that Bottles fucking dies at the beginning of Banjo-Tooie, right? He wasn't anyone's favorite character in Banjo-Kazooie anyway. Thanks, Kazooie. I love that line. It's so dumb. Yeah, Bottles dies if you didn't know. That's literally how the game starts, and it's amazing, and it's perfect, and it's so dumb and funny. And Kazooie gets to peck some more witch butt. Let's go, Banjo! And Banjo's like, oh, I've got a feeling it's not gonna be so easy this time. And easy it won't be. I'm pretty sure I said that in the old playthrough. Because I was so quirky like that. I mean, I'm kind of... I probably will repeat a lot of my commentary from that just because, I don't know, nothing really changes with me. I react to things the same way. Not that I would go back and look and make sure that my commentary is actually changing or staying the same. Nor would I recommend that you go back and do that, because that would be awful. And it's just not great content, so you shouldn't do that. What am I doing, by the way? I'd never, like, go up that way. I haven't watched that old playthrough probably since it came out. I mean, I don't really go back and watch my old videos to begin with, but I mean, I go back and watch a few things every now and then, just like a few snippets of stuff. Yeah, snippets, because we're talking about Banjo-Kazooie, and there's an enemy in Banjo-Kazooie called a snippet. It's a crab, but it's not in this game, so it's not actually that relevant to point that out. I just got a Cheeto page, by the way, and I'd explain what it is, but Cheeto's just gonna tell you here anyway. You found one of my missing pages. Collect 5, then return them to me in Grunty's old lair in Spiral Mountain. Yeah, that's where I am. Also, the totally real Nintendo 64 does this thing where it's like every time there's like a cutscene that like transitions between 2 different areas, like we just went between Spiral Mountain and Grunty's lair right there. Get out of my way, buddy. It just kind of like freeze frames on like the entrance of it. I don't know, it's really weird. And it'll happen a lot because that sort of thing happens a lot with the cutscenes in this game. But yeah, as I was saying, I haven't watched that old playthrough in a while. I went back like a couple months ago, I think, and just watched like a few seconds of one of the episodes. And it was about as cringy as just looking at anything old that you've done is. It's like, it's nothing too bad, right? Like, it's not like awful, like I hate myself in it. It's just like, if you look at an old picture of yourself, you're like, wow, what a loser I used to be. And I want to say, like, it wasn't that long ago, because it was 2019. But that was like 4 years ago now. And I'm like, what the hell happened to time? You butt. Yeah, that was 4 years ago, which is crazy. I don't know, man. Time, like, after the pandemic makes no sense to me. Like, it still feels like 2020 to me, and I hate that. Oh, you actual butt guy, what the hell? He's being actually kind of a stinky butt. But that's probably just because I'm focused on what I'm trying to say, that I'm not playing the game as properly as I usually am. We're fighting a boss fight, by the way. I forgot. I was like, hey, maybe I'll actually try to explain some things in this playthrough. That's Klungo. He's the best character. We had to beat him up. He has 3 potions, and they all do different things, and they're random depending on your save file. There he had the growth potion, so he just gets really big, and I think that's actually the easiest one. So I'm actually kind of ashamed that I got hit during that fight. That was awful. He can also turn invisible and make clones of himself. But we got the growth one first, so we'll get the other one. Well, spoilers. We're gonna fight Klungo again at some point. But that won't be for a while. Yeah. So, if you missed the story there, which was just Bottles dies, Grunty is gonna get a new body for herself, and we've gotta stop her, and also try to avenge Bottles, and we're going this way. I forget what they actually tell you at this point to do, but they do tell you here that this is an information signpost. Thanks, character we haven't met yet. What the sign actually says is, in loving memory of the Grey Jinjo family. They fucking died. There's a lot of death in this game. Like, this game is, I mean, it's still very cartoony and lighthearted, but, it's significantly darker than the first game, and I think that's very funny, because it's such a dark contrast, and it's like, it's not like it's trying to be super edgy or anything, but it's edgy enough that it's just very funny to me, and I enjoy it a lot. But we have to go into King Jingling's throne room. I forget if they actually tell you to come in here, or if they just kind of point you in the right direction if you keep going the wrong way. I think that's what they do. But this guy is the king of the Jinjo. King of all things Jinjo, sorry. And he's got Toots. The thing that Ruby had in Banjo-Kazooie, in Gobi's Valley. I don't know if it's just like a species of creature in this game, or this universe, I should say, because that's the only one in this game. But I don't know. It's also possible that King Jingling just stole it from that guy. Which I wouldn't put it past him. I don't know. He's not the greatest king. He's just kind of a funny guy. But I don't know if that exactly makes him a good leader. And they're talking about the ancient order of the Crystal Jiggy or something. I don't know, I feel like they were trying to set up some lore with this game, and they definitely expanded the Banjo-Kazooie lore a lot in this game. And here we go again with, like, the transitional cutscene thing. I don't know why it does it, but it's gonna happen a lot. Also, this pisses me off, and I probably talked about this in the original Let's Play too, but they show, at the end of that cutscene, they show Banjo walking to the entrance of the throne room, but they cut it off before they even make it to the door. And I'm just like, what is the point of even showing them walking to it if you're just gonna cut it off anyway before they even make it to the entrance? And then we got another cutscene here, which I guess I'll watch because I know I skipped it in the original Let's Play. At least I'm pretty sure I did. I know I skipped the actual first cutscene. Well, I didn't quite skip it. I know I'm pretty sure I just, showed a few snippets of it. I remember very vividly, I was like, Kazooie is a dick, as she, steals Mumbo's coins at the start, and then when she also says that Bottles wasn't anyone's favorite character after he dies, I just, repeated the same, audio file of me saying, Kazooie is a dick, which I thought actually was pretty funny, but I'm pretty sure I skipped this cutscene, because why would I show it? There's not a whole lot happening here. They're just plotting with the Bob, the big ol' blaster. I don't know what Rare's obsession was with, giant laser beams, atop a giant tower, because they did that again in Donkey Kong 64. Well, I guess not again, because that came out before this game. Honestly, it's crazy, man. They put out so many banger games on the N64 in such a short time. It genuinely doesn't make sense. How they were able to put out that many like high quality games and huge games too, with so much to do. Like this and DK64 have so much going on in them. Like people say there's too much going on in these games, and I mean, sure, that's a valid criticism, but I think it's still impressive how much they managed to cram into these games, like, in such a short time, on the same console. And it's like, yeah, Rare had, like, different teams, like, they had different sections of, like, their company or whatnot, working on different projects, but, like, I'm almost certain that, like, the Banjo-Kazooie team and the Donkey Kong 64 team are the same. Like, I'm pretty sure they went from Banjo-Kazooie to DK64 to Tooie. And obviously, like, some overlap, you know, because these take a lot of time to make. But, yeah, I mean, I'm certain they're the same team because, like, Stop and Swap was going to have some integration with DK64, which is really cool. I think, like, I'd have to double check this, but I think there was, like, there's, like, a refrigerator in Donkey Kong's treehouse that was, like, supposed to have something to do with the ice key, because, like, it had Banjo and Kazooie's faces, like, printed on the refrigerator, but it was removed in the final game. But I'm pretty sure that there's still, like, a hitbox for it. I there's something weird like that, where it's like there's still some remnant. Like, there's no actual, like, file, I think, in the game with the refrigerator on it. Like, we only know about it from, like, pre-release screenshots. But there's, like, some evidence left in the game that it was, like, actually real and supposed to be there, which I think is awesome. But that has nothing to do with this game, because what these goofy goobers are doing is trying to steal the life force of the island, the Isle o' Hags, which is where the game takes place, and they're doing it to give Grunty a new body because she's a skeleton and she's dead. Which you could have gotten that if you actually read the dialogue there, which I didn't do, but maybe you did, and you're like, yeah, you don't need to explain that because I was reading it while you were rambling like a goof. But I don't know, I just felt like it. We're going to Bottle's house now, because Jingling opened a little shortcut for us in here, which is kind of strange that he has the power to open doors in someone else's house. Hello there, Banjo. How are you today? Yeah, pretty good, Mrs. Bottles. I don't know if I'm gonna read the dialogue, actually. Kazooie wants Banjo to tell her about, you know, her dead husband. But Banjo, for some reason, does not want to do that. Because, I don't know. Like, I definitely agree that, like, with Kazooie, that, like, it is the right thing to do to tell her. Like, you should tell someone if their spouse dies. But I don't know, I guess Banjo's line of thinking is just like, no, we can still save Bottles, she doesn't have to know. Which, I mean, I won't spoil it, but he has a fair point to think that way. Also, when we talked to that kid in the other room, he gave us the little spectacles, which we don't actually have. Like, there's not, like, a physical item to show for that, but basically it just lets you zoom in when you go first person. Which is helpful, actually. I don't know, it's kind of weird that they just put it there. I don't know. But, like, there's so much to talk about this game. For one, we're actually in the Isle o' Hags now, which is the actual, you know, we're in the proper area for it now. It's very, very important that you say Isle o' Hags, and not Isle of Hags. And it doesn't sound too bad, you know, on its own, but if you say it fast, it certainly does not sound great. I don't know if that's why they changed it, or if it was originally Isle of Hags at all, or if it was just always O Hags. But I think it's definitely got something to do with it. just don't say it fast. But yeah. What I wanted to say when talking about, like, the abilities and whatnot, which I only very briefly started to mention. I didn't really full jump into it like, hey guys, let's talk about the abilities in this game. Oh man, there's so much to talk about with the Jinjos too. Okay, yeah, the Jinjos are kind of racist in this game because they only want to be with Jinjos of their own color. I mean, it's not like they're around other Jinjos of different colors, but like they're still separate and you have to rescue them. But you know, I don't know. I kind of hate that I already made that joke because like everyone makes the racist Jinjos joke when they talk about this game. It's just like they knew what they were doing. But yeah, the abilities, right? The abilities. So what this game does that I think is awesome is it just gives you all of the abilities from the first game right off the bat. Like they're just like, yeah, we know you probably already played the first game, so like just have all the abilities. And like if you need a refresher, sure, there's a tutorial there if you need it. But otherwise, it's still the same, and it plays like pretty much the exact same, and it's awesome. I think that is so cool, and like very few games can do that. You know, like I don't know. It's interesting to think about because like if Banjo-Kazooie kept like being a massive franchise, like I don't know. Like, they would have had a ton of moves, and I'm just like, I feel like eventually, and I mean, I guess they kind of did with Nuts and Bolts, where they don't have any moves. I feel like eventually, though, like, if they kept making consistent 3D platformers, they probably would have, like, had to reset the moves at some point and been like, yeah, let's dial it back a bit and, you know, actually make this accessible to newcomers again. But I don't know, the fact that this game, you know, came out on the same console just like 2 years after the first game, they were able to just say, hey, you've got all the moves, and that's a really cool thing. And there's even more moves to learn, which is crazy and wild and goofy and kooky that they somehow managed to fit even more moves into this game. They kind of cheat for some of them, like I wouldn't say some of these should really count as new moves. And you'll see what I mean when we get to those, but it is definitely impressive how they do it. Also, I guess I should talk about what the hell just happened. So to open worlds in this game, we still use Jiggies like we do in the first game. By the way, I guess like if you've never seen anything from the first game, you must be really confused. You're on your own for that one. I'm not explaining that much. Jeez. But we actually do like little puzzles here to actually open the worlds, rather than just hitting a button and doing it. It doesn't quite work as well on a totally real Nintendo 64, as you might have seen. Like the entire right half of that puzzle was just awful. But yeah, we need more Jiggies though. We only had one that King Jingling gave us. We're going to need like what, 4 more? Yeah, but we're gonna get way more than 4. Also, these little silo things, these act as a little warp, so we could go back to Jinjo Village if we wanted to, but we don't really need to do that. So, now it is time for the first world of the game. Though actually, I think I'm going to wrap it up here, because, I don't know, I kind of want to try a different vibe for this Let's Play channel. Even though it's not entirely a Let's Play channel, it's Tofu-Tooie. Just call it Tofu-Tooie. But yeah, like before, with my other Let's Plays that I've done on the main channel before, I kind of just wanted to make a certain amount of progress in a game. But, I don't know, for this I kind of want to kick it old school, you know, back to the old days, where people just kind of stop after like 30 minutes or so, regardless of how far we make it. So, I mean, this is a pretty good stopping place too. So, yeah, I know we didn't actually do a whole lot of gameplay stuff. There's just kind of a lot of talking and rambling. But yeah, so next time on Banjo-Tooie, we're gonna go into the first world. Oh boy. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. I don't know what my outro is for this channel. Bye.